And what is up, everyone on YouTube? Mark Gaming TV coming at you with a new reaction video. It has been a few days since we have done one, which I do apologize for that. Some things have come up, but trying to get back to it for this weekend. And of course, this weekend does mark the second week of college football and the first official week of NFL. More college football previews and reviews will be coming out this weekend. But tonight's review going to be focusing on the first game of the NFL season, which featured the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. And there was quite a bit of excitement and quite a bit of craziness to talk about within the game. But of course, since it was the Philadelphia Eagles and they won the Super Bowl last year, they had the Super Bowl banner raised to honor the fact that they won the Super Bowl last year. As is the case with every team that wins the Super Bowl, they have the Super Bowl banner raised for the start of the following season. So, good to see that for them. Wish them the best of luck for the season. But the first play of the season, after it ended, it was a kickoff, had a little spit throwing contest. Well, I'll say spit throwing contest, but it was more like Dak Prescott was spitting at the ground. And then afterwards, Jalen Carter, who took offense to it, came over and got in Dak's face. Dak, got in Jalen's face, and they exchanged a few words. And Jalen spat in Dak's face right in front of the head referee. And referee didn't have a choice but to throw a flag, which was an automatic ejection for Jalen Carter. So throughout the rest of the game, Jalen Carter would be disqualified for the game and honestly could be facing further trouble down the road from the NFL and from the Philadelphia Eagles organization. I'll be honest, that kind of behavior is completely unacceptable. I don't care who you are. I don't care what team you're on, but you don't have any right to spit on a particular player for any reason whatsoever. So, that being said, it led to some very tense moments for both teams as, there were times where it looked like both teams were going to go at each other's throats, which it being a divisional game to start the season, you're going to expect to see that. So, the first half went fairly smooth for both sides for both teams in terms of their offense, to where at the end of the first half it was a 3-point game and the Eagles were winning. I believe that was the case. So anyway, after the first half ended, it was a 3-point game. I take that back. I do apologize. It was a 1-point game, and I'm sure someone was going to correct me if I didn't say that. But it was a 1-point game after the first half, and it was 21-20 in favor of the Eagles. In which case, we got into the third quarter. The Eagles had kicked the field goal, which made it 24-20. Dallas was driving down the field, looking to score on the following possession, and they fumbled the ball. Luckily for Dallas, Dak Prescott was very quickly to make the tackle after Philadelphia recovered the fumble, which saved the touchdown. But before they could get the first play snapped off, they had a lightning delay, and the announcer made a little bit of a mistake, and I do want to address that before we go any further. The announcer in the stadium said that there was a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued by the National Weather Service for the area, hence that was the reason for the lightning delay. And I do want to be clear. There was a storm that hit Philadelphia, hence the lightning and hence the weather delay. That part was legit, but it was nothing severe about the storm. There was no severe warnings within the storm, nor was there any severe warnings around Philadelphia or even close to the Philadelphia area. So I don't know who told the announcer that the National Weather Service issued a warning, and they never did. I mean, even the National Weather Service office that's in charge of the Philadelphia area even came out and said that we never said that there was a warning. We never issued a warning for that area, and they were correct. because I went back and when they said the warning was issued, I went and checked it and saw that there was indeed no warning. So again, big miscommunication on there, or at the very least, they could have worded that differently to maybe keep the fans from freaking out as much. But anyway, because of that, the game was delayed for about an hour and then allowed to resume once the weather had passed. And really, it was a tale of two different halves. The first half, you had all the action between the Cowboys and the Eagles that was every bit as hyped up to be as could be. And then the second half, other than the Philadelphia field goal, which happened before the delay, really didn't see much of any offense from either side for the rest of the game. So, because of that, the end result, Philadelphia Eagles do end up getting the win. They won it by 24-20, despite Jalen Carter being ejected for most of the game. A couple of key factors that contributed to the Eagles winning. There were some questionable coaching decisions by Dallas. There was also a lot of drops that the Dallas receiver, in particular CeeDee Lamb, had. For Dallas, though, they did play better than I expected, but there's still some things they need to clean up before their next game. They're going back to AT&T Stadium next week where they play the New York Giants, and we do need to see some things cleaned up. Can't be dropping passes like we were doing tonight. Definitely the defense was playing pretty solid throughout the whole game, but we just got to clean up the errors and such, and we could be a pretty decent football team this year based on what I saw tonight. We just got to start putting the pieces together, and hopefully everything will kind of come into place for Dallas to actually find that formula for winning again. As for Jalen Carter and his actions, I'm not sure what, if anything, the NFL is going to do, or what, if anything, the Philadelphia Eagles as an organization is going to do. But this is what I want to leave to you guys. What would you guys do if you were the Philadelphia Eagles owner, or if you were the NFL in general? Would you suspend Jalen Carter for an additional game or so? Or if you were the Philadelphia Eagles organization, would you have Jalen Carter sit out a game or two because of this? Because you don't want someone like that representing your team in a negative way. And that right there showed that, without actually doing it, he basically spat in the face of the organization by representing them in the wrong way. That being said, again, the Eagles did pick up the win regardless of that situation. They won 24-20. Up next for the Cowboys is the New York Giants, like I said a few minutes ago. So I'll be curious to see if the Cowboys can bounce back after losing that game. Then for the Philadelphia Eagles, next week they take on the Kansas City Chiefs. So be looking forward to that game as well. But until then, next video that you'll probably see if you're following this series will be the Mississippi State versus Arizona preview. Or if you're just following the channel, that'll probably be the next video you see. Or it'll either be the review of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers game, which will be going on the next night. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to leave your comments below as to what you thought of the video. Also, leave your comments as to what you think Philadelphia and the NFL should do about the Jalen Carter situation. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And we are on the grind to getting more and more subscribers, more and more views, more and more followers onto this channel. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone about this channel. And let's get this channel going. Until then, Mark Gaming TV signing off.